I don't think that's a good question, Tom, because I don't really think, well, I haven't allowed myself to think about the end of 43 years of doing this until that band thing. Then I got a little choked up. Actually asked me to address the band. I had a problem with my voice. You know, I had to, you know, what was that song they played? Oh, Happy Trails to You. And I thought, I said to the band, damn, that's about me. You know, I hadn't thought about it until I heard that and watched them, you know, as they finished their show, march off the field. And that's really the first time that it hit me that, hey, this is it, Tiller. So I haven't allowed myself to think too much about that. I'm not real good at containing my emotions, so I'm always better off if I remain in denial. I went to the luncheon yesterday, and I think the Alumni Association passed out these little rollout, I don't know what they're called, said, "Thanks, Coach." And everybody in the luncheon had one, and the guys in the back stood up, so everybody, so it was like I walked into a room full of gold "Thank you, Coach" messages, notes, which was a surprise to me. I didn't have any idea that they had anything like that planned, so it was much appreciated. I did ask the question, are those left over from Coach Katie's retirement? Where did those come from? But that kind of started the day, and then I went to the TV show, and the last segment, you know, the cast there, I shouldn't say the cast, the crew that put the thing on had some surprises for me, including an oversized rainbow stuffed trout about 4 feet long, you know, so.
That's really great chance.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'll be a Walmart greeter. But, no, I think it's really interesting and it's natural, and I understand it. A lot of people have asked me. It started in August at the Big Ten luncheon in Chicago. Of, you know, what are you going to do after you retire? And you know, and I made up that fishing stuff. You know, because you know I have a confession to make. I've been fly fishing twice in my lifetime, but one of my goals is to learn how to become a very good fly fisherman, and I know you can only do that with practice and time and study and etc. I've been invited. I'm glad I've talked about it so much, because I've been invited on a half a dozen fly fishing expeditions by different people that want to take me fly fishing that are very good at it, but I don't want to go see the guru, Joe Humphrey, in State College, Pennsylvania, without practicing. So my thoughts are, you know, we're going to move into this house. There's, you know how it is when you move into a house. It takes you 6 months to move in and look after things and do some landscaping. And I like being outdoors, etc. But I'm going to try to hit the water and try to practice and take some of these people up on their offers. Also, Arnett and I bought a motorhome 3 years ago, a used one, I might add. Well, I'm young enough and healthy enough to wrestle with it, etc. You know, there's a lot of these United States I'd like to see. I'd love to go to the New England states in the fall. I'd love to actually get in a motorhome and tailgate around college campuses all fall. I think that'd be a blast. So I don't know, we'll do some things, but you know, as long as we're healthy and we're able to move, etc., you know, we'll stay busy. Well, I still think the best 2 years I've spent in football was 97 and 98. And my wife described it best when she said every Saturday was like Christmas. You know, the recruiting landscape was much different than it is today. And I've said this before, but just at the risk of being redundant, after the game we'd all get together as a staff and we'd talk about the game. We might puff on a cigar. I'm not a cigar smoker, but they might even talk me into that occasionally based on who the win was against. But we just enjoyed each other so much more than we do currently, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, everything was innocent, I guess, and pure, and people didn't expect us to, you know, to walk on water or anything like that. You know, it was just, hey, you know, it's nice we got another win. You know, we appreciate the fact that we've had some success. So I think people were much more appreciative then. The expectation level certainly isn't what it is today. I was talking to Coach Ferentz before the game. I said, Kurt, you got a lot more gray hair today than you had 12 months ago. He said, no kidding. And anyway, he said, it's just the expectation level's killing me. I said, hey, welcome to the club. It's killing all of us. I said, all of our programs today, everyone expects us to be 12-0. The problem with that is we have to play each other. And the ties are out of the game anymore. So we're not all going to be 12-0, and no one can seems to be able to accept that, and no one wants to give the opponent any credit. It's always about what your guys, he says, I know it's so damn negative anymore. I say, it's always about what your guys do wrong. Or, they're human beings, they make a mistake. Yeah, all that's emphasized and pointed out, and it's never that some player made a great play for the other team or whatever. So it takes, the fun out of the game. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should coach for fun, because I did say to Kurt Ferentz, I said the difference between now and 10 years ago is coaches are getting paid a lot better today. So things are going to change when the stakes go up. And maybe the plus side of that is you don't have to coach as long as you used to. I mean, when I think about it, 43 years ago, my first job, I made, as a college coach, I made $5,500 for the year. And I had to teach 3 classes as well as coach. And including working with a Peace Corps in the summer was part of my deal. So, that's been that's a long time ago. But even back then, $5,500, I couldn't buy a new car. I bought, my first car was a car that came out of the carpool at the university, because that's what I could afford. Fortunately, I can afford something other than that today. Not much more than that, I might add, but anyway. So, coaches are paid different, expectations are going to change, that's all natural, etc. I notice, I see it when I go out there. I see the stress on my competitor's face. I talk to guys, they're not having much fun, but I'll tell you what, they're all having fun when they show up at the pay window. So there's trade-offs in life. But it's like Kirk said, and I said it, and he said, no way. I said, there'll never be another Joe Paterno. There'll never be another Bobby Bowden. No one will coach as long as those guys have coached. The stress level is too great. The expectation level is too great. You just will never see that again, unless we go to club football. Then maybe we'll have a long tenured coach.
Coach, you done with the Tuesday lunch clubs?
Amen. Give me an amen. Amen. Now I want a real amen. Stacy, I ain't seeing you, woman. Give me an amen. Let me hear it. Amen. Yeah, sister.
If you want to call back in at 1 o'clock, we'll be on the phone with Friday.